Alright, and welcome back everyone. Like I said in the last video, I would give you a full complete review and in-depth tour of this resort. So that's what this video is about. Now for all those who have already checked out the video that we had previously of our time in Los Cabos, thank y'all. For if you haven't, I'll go ahead and shoot that up somewhere over here or somewhere over here. Not sure yet, but it'll be up there, and it'll also be a link in the description where you can go and check out that video as well. But anyway, we are at the Reflect Krystal Grand All-Inclusive Resort. I think it was called the Krystal Grand before. I'm not 100% sure on where the Reflect part came from, but if you look it up or you Google it or things of that nature, you can find it just at the Krystal Grand. I did some researching and looking over, and for the price, it had one of the best scenic views. I can't speak about all the all-inclusive resorts and how the food is, but I know I wanted to specifically pick this location just because I loved the layout and the scenery of it. And boy, was I not wrong. It is a huge, huge resort. So let's get right into it. Now, when you head to Los Cabos, you know, you're gonna find tons and tons and tons of beach hotels and resorts. One of the things that you wanna look for is an all-inclusive, so that your food and everything else is added and included, including your drinks. Now, this is a good option for families when you have hungry kids who are always wanting something to eat. You don't wanna go off site to kind of figure out where it is, or for those folks who are just here to relax, you don't have to worry about a car. You don't have to worry about thinking about what your next meal or drink or things are going to be. All-inclusive is definitely the way to go. I know I see some videos where they're saying the do's and don'ts and how not to, you know, lose your money on it, which there's a lot of other videos about that, but I will, for what it's worth, say that an all-inclusive is the way to go, just because you don't have to worry about the amount it costs for alcohols at other places, or for that matter within the resort. So when you go, look for an all-inclusive, and here we are at the Reflect Grand Krystal Resort. Beautiful, beautiful layout. Most of the resorts and hotels along Los Cabos or Cabos San Lucas is along the beach strip. It's miles and miles and miles of these resorts, so it's up to you, your pockets, and what you want to spend. I will say that this one was the best budget for myself, and we got a lot out of it. Like I said in the other video, we were spending a lot of time outside of the resort anyway because it was my birthday weekend and we had other things planned. But if I didn't have anything planned, I really enjoy this resort. They have a couple of restaurants, and they have a lot of activities throughout the day. We didn't get a chance to check all of them out, but definitely they have a lot on the agenda for you while you're there. Whether you're there for 2 days or whether you're there for a week, there's tons of things on the agenda for you. So let's go on up into the rest of this resort here. Now, when you enter into this resort, you're greeted with a nice open air lobby. There's check-in on both left and right sides, but you're welcomed and greeted not only with just the amount of breeze that you have in this breezeway, but a good amount of sunlight. It's beautiful in the morning, and even at night it's just a nice lit up specialized area for you to check in. I don't think I would have liked it any other way. Like, you know, you come in some resorts and you have your lobby area. Like, this was one of the lobby areas, and they both have an open air concept to them. When you walk through, you'll have a bar that is ready for you as soon as you put your wristband on, and you can order right from there. To the right of that, you have one restaurant, which that's the Asian bar, and we'll talk about that, and then also your coffee lounges right there. As you make your way through the lobby area and you come down the steps, you are greeted with a nice sitting area that has one of the most calmest presence, I should say, around. I love the recliner chairs that are right there. It's a good shot for photos, and it's just a good way to just kind of get started or even end your evening. To the right of that, as you keep coming through, you will find the kiddie pool area. And again, this is a family-friendly resort as well. So not only do they have the kiddie pool area, but they have like a games and toy section within this vicinity right here too. Now, I did mention earlier about the Asian bar that was upstairs, or the Asian restaurant. Here is where you will find your buffet, and everyday breakfast, lunch, and dinner can be here. If you just don't want what's on the restaurant, this is called the O restaurant, and they have your buffet. So if you have picky eaters and you really just can't decide on what you want to have at a certain restaurant, here's where they just have a buffet. You have buffet breakfast, you have buffet lunch, and you have buffet dinner. And the good thing about these is they stay open till like 10 at night, so you don't have to worry about coming back from a day of activity with your family and missing out on food. If I'm not mistaken, I think they stay open longer than that, but I know one time it was like 10 o'clock, we were coming by and people were still kind of eating and things of that nature. So now on your ground floor, you have rooms that have swim out pools to them. I like it. I think it's great. It was a little too much for what I wanted, seeing that you have this gigantic family pool and adult pool there. Not to mention they are really closely connected to other rooms. So even if you were swimming and enjoying yourself for your swim out area, your room next to you could literally just poke their head out and see you. I mean, if you were making too much noise, I feel like they could just be like, shut up, you know. So it wasn't like a private and fenced in pool area. So it was kind of laid out for everyone. As we come up, you will find the snack bar area. That snack bar area is where you saw in the other video. My wife wanted to get some pizza. They have like fish tacos, tostadas, and little snacks throughout the day. They're actually only open, I want to say, for like the lunchtime area, which is good because a lot of people were out at the pool at that time. So between like 11 and 3, they were available. So I did not have much there, but the fish tacos, and the fish tacos were pretty good, but that's the only thing that I had. My wife ended up getting some ceviche. The ceviche was awesome too, now I'm thinking about it. And that was it. I mean, everywhere you went, you could get drinks from. So I got drinks no matter where we were. So that was one of the things about the all-inclusive that you'll probably rack up a lot of money on, is if you have any type of alcohol consumption, you know what your tab is going to be like anywhere else. Let's carry on down to the other side. Alright, so as you make your way down to the Alton Tower, which is for exclusive club members who have a membership with them, they have their own sectional tower where you can stay at. There is a bar where you can pick up ice cream, drinks, maybe little small coffees here and there, and also a bar on top of that, the Alton Tower. Now, this is the first restaurant that we ate at when we first got here. We just went on and put our name in. This was risotto, and it was an Italian-inspired cuisine. I think it was good. I think me and my wife kind of had too much here, so we were like, we don't want to do that when it was time for us to get ready to go. But if you can get your name on the list, it is worth trying out. They definitely stay open late, so you will not want to miss it. It is right by the beach. It's kind of this open area, and it's across from the adult pool. Speaking of which, let's roll on down to the adult pool. It is down the steps of the risotto restaurant, and it is a good place to kind of kick it. It's where you can just get in, pull up to the bar and drink, have some conversation with people. There's always tons of people out there from the start of the day to the end at night. It was definitely a good amount of people. It wasn't crowded because, again, it is the adult pool, and I don't think, to be honest, any of it was too crowded. So around that side, you have your third restaurant that I wanted to speak about right there, and that was, I think it was a Mexican cuisine, but we had breakfast there, and the breakfast was buffet, and it was right by the beach, so you could hear the waves and things of that nature. Now, as you get past the adult pool, it kind of leads you an open access to the beach, and then right over to the adult sports bar, Timeout. And Timeout is, again, another area for you to get drinks and enjoy a DJ and music. They had it open every night that we were there, which was awesome. So it was good to kind of eat and kind of hang out and sit down a little bit and kind of hear the DJ. We didn't have to go inside all the time, but we did the last night, as you remember, in that video. And if you haven't seen that, again, please go ahead and check that out. So as we make our way down to the tapas and martini bar, this kind of confused me. So anyone who is watching this and is traveling to Krystal Grand, or either you work at Krystal Grand, please help me and leave a comment down below. I'm trying to understand why it's called the Martini and Tapas Bar, but there's no tapas. Like, that would be great to have. It was just only drinks there. This restaurant here, El Mortero, was not open when we went, so I really couldn't speak about it. It's right above Risotto, so as you go inside and you're sitting down, it looks like there's a balcony area that you can probably go and sit at, but it's actually another restaurant. And this one was definitely Mexican cuisine, and like I said, it wasn't open. I think they were kind of remodeling upstairs at the time, so the door was open when I came to do this kind of full walkthrough, but it definitely wasn't open while we were there at the time. And as we make our way back down to the courtyard area, you run into the spa, and the spa is definitely there for, you know, any of your massage envy needs, I should say. So it's a good area. We didn't utilize that area, but it is next to the courtyard, where on this section of the property, folks own those like condos, and they stay there and live on that resort, which is very, very awesome. So as we skate past that, this is the second lobby area. Now, I did not realize this was a lobby area until one day we were coming down and I saw taxis and Ubers and stuff pulling up and dropping folks off, and they had people checking in. So that's why I said there's two lobbies here, and I'm guessing because this area is so spread out. To the right side of us, that's also Krystal Grand, and I think that is also area where people own or timeshare wise. And then in the middle right there where I'm just showing you, it is where we stayed. That was our tower that we stayed in. So again, you have the Krystal Grand Resort right here, and then if you go in the front, you'll see the Reflect Krystal Grand, but it's all the same area. So this resort is definitely huge. It's definitely a lot for everyone to get into, the whole family. Like I said, if you want to come here and you don't have anything planned, it is definitely worth it. You can relax here, you can chill out and all. Let's take it upstairs. Next stop, floor 3. Now when you come out of this elevator, you will notice that this resort is right next to the street. So this is what my wife was talking about earlier, where you could hear cars and stuff when I wanted to have all the windows and doors and stuff open, because it's literally right on the street. Like, we stayed in the tower that's connected to the back end of the street, but it is also a area that under us houses different things. There was a pharmacy, there was a small like convenience store, there were a few shops, so you could walk along this strip and you would, you know, mistakenly think that this was a eat, shop, live, play area, but it is connected and it's part of the resort. I will say again, this resort was very beautiful. I've only been to one. This was our first time here, but it was very beautiful. So with that being said, I'm gonna take over and allow you to see what the inside of our room looked like. And this leads us to our room tour, which, by the way, was a great thing, thanks to the guest staff down at the desk there. Technically, we had another room, I think it was a double room or whatever, which would have probably been in another building, I should say. But I was like, can I get a king bedroom? He was like, let me see what we have, because apparently the one that I booked, it had 2 double beds. It never gave me an option to select king bed. So he hooked us up. So we don't just have a room, we actually have a whole little set. So let's show you around here. So when you first come through the door, this is the area that you just saw. This is kind of your common area. There's a kitchen, which again, the room that we had previously did not have a kitchen. it just had kind of a round table, had the couch and the bed. This is the entire living space with a kitchen. So back through the room, you have your bathroom with a rainfall shower. And then a separate room where the bed is. So as I was saying, originally, the room that I had was just set up as your normal hotel room where you go in and you have your, as soon as you walk through the door, you see your couch, your bed, and everything like that. This is in the residence building where people actually own particular properties in here. See what she was doing, guys?
No.
I had the camera in that direction when she came out. I didn't know what was going on, so. And babe.
No.
With one gorgeous view. And as you can see, it's a building here that has rooms, a building there that has rooms, the tower room. This is also down here is Krystal Grand as well as those spots. And then of course the building that we're in right now.